Introducing Meta Ray-Ban Display, the world's most advanced AI glasses. With a full color display built into the lens of the glasses, it's there when you need it and gone when you don't. Send and receive messages, translate or caption live conversations, collaborate with Meta AI, and more. Be one of the first to try Meta Ray-Ban Display. Visit meta.com/Meta Ray-Ban Display to book a demo and find your pair.
Saturday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Saturday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Saturday. Saturday, bring it on.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Greetings, everybody. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It is Timeless Elite Wednesday with your PR princess, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me. I do apologize for the tardiness because I definitely had to deal with a lot of business stuff, but I'm here with all of you on Timeless Elite Wednesday. I'm just catching up to speed with everything that's been happening. Of course, seeing the face-off between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin, because we do see Pac, who has been beating the crap out of Darby Allin since his return at All Out Toronto, right before their I Quit match. It is going to be brutal. It's going to be probably 5 or 6 on 1, but I'm sure Darby's probably has some tricks up his sleeves, and we'll see what he does. I did miss Mother Timeless. My lady Tony Storm kicked off the show with Chris Statlander. I did miss that. And I did see that Ricochet and the Gates of Agony beat the Hurt Syndicate again. So that's 2 for 2. And up next, we are going to have Claudio Castagnoli taking on Roderick Strong. And we do see the Death Riders coming in backstage. But Darby's got some tricks up his sleeves. I feel like he does. And also with the fact, too, he may get some unexpected help because there are some people within the Death Riders, within the roster. A lot of people want to get their salt back on. I'm going to keep saying it. I could see Bryan Danielson because he's still getting his revenge and everything else. I'm going to pull through, and I'm going to keep saying Nigel McGuinness because Daniel Garcia called him a parasite on Collision a couple weeks ago. So we shall see on that. Really? It was acting up? Oh, well, that's the joys of technology. That is the perks of technology, Boza, but we shall see on that. But I am here with all of you on this Wednesday, actually a special 3-hour edition of AEW Dynamite. Then following the 2-hour, you're going to have a special 1-hour edition of AEW Collision. And there is so many matches happening on the card tonight. I know there was a match that was announced earlier today. We're going to have Megan Bayne taking on Harley Cameron. As I said, up next, Claudio Castagnoli taking on Roderick Strong. Obviously, the conglomeration, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong still have some beef with the Death Riders. So we shall see on that. We're also going to have the unusual pairing of Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express after the face-to-face confrontation between Kenny Omega and Jack Perry. They will be taking on members of the Don Callis family, Mark Davis, Hechicero, and Josh Alexander. We're also going to see the AEW Trios Championships in action. The Opps with the returning Shibata taking on La Faccion Ingobernable, and we're going to see the AEW World Heavyweight Champion Hangman Adam Page. We also have some tag team action. My main squeeze, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly taking on the Death Riders, Daniel Garcia and that little runt Wheeler Yuta. And also, we're going to have some ladies in action outside of Megan Bayne and Harley Cameron. One of my gals, Jamie Hayter, taking on Sky Blue. All this and more. Yep, Boza, like I said, Darby Allin's got some tricks up his sleeve. What's going to happen? I don't know. But we shall see on that. But you get to spend 3 hours with me, yours truly. But those famous last. I know, Buzz. I'm going to have to take a look at the... I'm going to have to take a look at the videos from social earlier today regarding Chris Statlander and Trilogy Storm. I'll take a look at that on YouTube right before we get out of here because I kind of want to see that because I know that had to be very interesting. And I'm sure we're going to have some interesting bold predictions on Friday when we do our picks. I was very happy. I know I couldn't be on WWT Live, but I was so happy. The ladies we're handling WWT today. Christina, Honey, and Boss Lady were handling the fort today. So it's kind of cool when it's an all ladies WWT live panel because at least like we make sure we do talk, but also making sure we get our stuff done. So, but yeah, sorry, I'm looking at the posting for WWT Live. I was like, it's not Timeless Elite Saturday, it's Timeless Elite Wednesday, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm here with all of you on the final Dynamite Collision right before Wrestledream this weekend. So yeah. Well, it's interesting, Boza, because like I'm gonna take everything with a grain of salt regarding Chris Jericho because at the end of the day, it is his choice. I know his deal runs up by the end of this year. Obviously, he's gonna have a 7th cruise in 2026. I'm not gonna put everything on it, but I would not be shocked if he did have some AEW stars because usually when it kind of gets a little bit closer to 2026, he actually starts to have some stars. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. No AEW stars yet, but I would not be surprised when it got a little bit closer if he did have some stars in it. Because it's very interesting because if he does come back to WWE, will he have a lot of creative control on his cruise? Because I've heard many stories from AEW stars, not AEW stars, but many other wrestling legends that they've had some wacky stories going on his cruise. So it's like, are you gonna restrict it to just WWE? If you do come back, like you're not gonna have people, even though they didn't wrestle in WWE, they're gonna come to the cruise. So it's like, is there gonna be a lot of creative control and power if he does come back under like this TKO umbrella or the WWE umbrella? That's like my biggest concern with all of this happening. So if Chris does come back to WWE, great. If he doesn't come back to WWE, that is fine too. So I respect whatever decision he has because at the end of the day, it's his decision. It's his decision. So I'll be fine either way. But we do have our second match. Roderick Strong taking on Claudio Castagnoli. Obviously, of course, you're going to deal with the Death Riders at ringside. It's very interesting, though. But it's very, very interesting, Boza. But I'm very happy. Shout out to Eddie Foster. How are you tonight on this special Timeless Elite Wednesday edition with yours truly? So I'm very excited. And I love it when they bring out the tweets on TV. Moxley and Darby talking like Batman and the Riddler. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. I have full faith in Darby. I just love how these tweets are on TV. I love that they're doing that because some of them are pretty funny and some of them I just love it. Bro, AEW Wrestledream looks so fire. I can't wait for the Darby versus John match. That is going to be one brutal match. That is hilarious. But I'm very happy to spend with all of you. And also feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning in this match. Do you have Claudio Castagnoli or do you have Roderick Strong? So feel free to put in the chat there. Roderick Strong is definitely no slouch because he was a former AEW International Champion where he pinned my main squeeze, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy for that belt. So yeah, Roddy's no slouch. Nice counter by Claudio Castagnoli. Nice move to kick out made by Roddy. Okay. And I love that they're going through the card of Wrestledream, but I think after tonight, this is going to be it. I think this is going to be it for Wrestledream because I know they probably have no more than like 6, 7, or 8 matches for Wrestledream. But I would not be shocked if they added one more match in. Because I think for Tailgate, there's 2 more matches. I could see them probably adding one more to Tailgate. But other than that, it's looking like a pretty dope card for Wrestledream. And also, feel free to put in the chat on what... I mean, I know we're going to do bold predictions on Friday, but what match are you looking forward to see at Wrestledream this weekend? There's a lot of matches. I mean, obviously, of course, you got Mox and Darby Allin for the I Quit match. Obviously, you have Samoa Joe versus Hangman. And I think I just saw another match that was added to tonight's card. We have a trios match. I know members of the conglomeration. Give me 1 second. Because I did see another match that was added to it. See, don't mess with Roddy. Roddy is not no slouch. Let's see. All right, so I'm watching this on TBS, but the match is still in picture. But we do see both Claudio and Roderick Strong both laid out. I mean, I'll figure it out because I was like, I know I did see another trios match that was on TV.
Let me stop you there, Jack. All this bar humbug business was just me sleep apnea. With this Inspire implant, I'm on new ride. If CPAP doesn't work for you, check out Inspire Therapy. Learn more and use safety info at inspiresleep.com. You gotta look it up sometime. Or no, not on. You search cool outfits to wear with shark tooth necklace. Goldfish have short memory.
Thought I did, but yeah. But like I said, I'm watching this on TBS, and the match is in picture. I do love the commercial. I actually do love some of the commercials on here. And I'm actually watching highlights from Chris Statlander and Tony Storm earlier. See? Tony Storm is a woman. She just made timeless herself. And I'm just so proud of her character development. But I smell something a lot fishy in this match. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of fishiness happening in that women's title match. And also, I just smell something fishy happening this weekend. I know, Boza. I know, but I will say for Tony's sake, I just have that feeling something is going to happen to her. And hi, Hassan Tahir. Thank you for joining. But like I said, Boza, I just have a feeling in this match. I just think it's not the last time we're going to see Chris Statlander with the Death Riders, because I feel like something bad is going to happen to Tony. And I could see Tony going crazy and have her take down the Death Riders with Darby Allin, because Darby Allin's going to need a group of misfits to help him out. I mean, I know the conglomeration, they have their issues with the Death Riders. I'm trying to think who else. Like, they have their issues, but it's going to be very interesting on how this is going to go. But we're back live with our second match of the night, Claudio Castagnoli taking on Roderick Strong. And I am very, very excited. Well, to be fair, Boza, I was going to say tonight we may see an appearance from Mercedes, but I just realized she does have a match for the CMLL Women's. Yep, Boza, I was going to say that. Friday she has a match for the CMLL Women's Championship. And I have a feeling Saturday she may celebrate being the longest reigning TBS champion at WrestleDream. Because I know she doesn't have a match, but I have a feeling she may do a celebration either. She probably will do a celebration probably during WrestleDream on Saturday. I have that feeling. And then you kind of have to set up the whole thing because, Seth and Will and everybody else kind of chuckled and said Mercedes is going to be forever. Well, not the forever TBS champion, but thinking there's no challengers for her. But I do think Alex Windsor can be the one to beat Mercedes. It's just you have to build her character up. And she had an incredible match for the IWGP Women's Championship against Sari on Ring of Honor. So you just have to figure out ways to kind of really develop her. Because when they first met, it's kind of like, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. And I did say that earlier. Like, what match are you looking forward to see at WrestleDream this weekend? And just to let you know, because we have a women's match that doesn't involve a title. Jamie Hayter taking on Tekla. And I'm not complaining because I get to see a lot of my favorite people on the card. So I'm happy and I'm winning. Okay, nice counter by Roddy. Oh, nice counter by Roddy. Nice counter. You know what? Even though Roddy says he's not technically a part of the conglomeration, technically it's an honorary member because he's with Kyle. Because him and Kyle have Paragon. So even though he's not an official member of the conglomeration, technically he's an honorary member. And they all do have a common enemy where they don't like the Death Riders. So. Oh, and that was an interesting pinfall, but your winner of this match is Claudio Castagnoli. Yeah, but I was saying it's like an associate or a friend of the conglomeration. That's what I see in Roddy, because he still has, you know what? And I just thought of something for the women's title, because remember when I said a couple weeks ago that we all thought, yeah, it was a really good match, Boza. And I was saying this a couple weeks ago, because I know Chris Statlander said she wasn't going to join the Death Riders. We all thought that was a ruse. And somebody actually put this in the chat too on AEW. I have a feeling Chris Statlander may join the Death Riders this weekend. Because if she does something to Tony similar to what Moxley did to Bryan Danielson last year at WrestleDream, I'm just saying. Oh God. And and before I'd hold off on my thought, I got to deal with this creep, Don Callis, because obviously it was his birthday on Monday. So I guess I have to wish a happy birthday to Don Callis and the rest of his family. So, yeah, I mean, happy birthday, I guess.
And to protect the interests of each and every one of you, to protect the interests of this family. Numbers are power. And I don't like it, the private business.
Boza, hold on to that thought, because I'll tell you this after that creep Don Callis.
That is my promise and my gift to each and every one of you. Now, speaking of gifts, I don't know what to open first. Before we get there, I have one very special one for you. Really? You will turn around this way and take a look. Hey, yeah. Good job. I'm sorry.
Look, Takeshita. And congratulations to Takeshita on being the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Congratulations to him. And he's a superstar. Oh, did you see what Okada did? See? Remember when I was saying this a couple weeks ago, where they were teasing us with Takeshita and Okada last year? Well, it's starting to creep up a bit. And sooner or later, we're going to get Takeshita versus Okada. When? I don't know. Maybe during World's End. Maybe if they meet again in the finals during the Continental Classic. I know, right? It's crazy. And it's crazy because this happened for like a year. They were teasing it. Teasing this. And they're showing footage of a really great match between Zack Sabre Jr. and Takeshita, finally winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. So sending big congratulations to Takeshita. Definitely well earned. Very curious on how this reign is going to go, because is he going to, is he going to do New Japan? Is he going to appear on here? So we shall see. And oh, great. I got to deal with that creep again. Oh, yeah. And I forgot. It's trios action. So. Oh, boy. Yep, Boza, it is we're going to be doing a trios action. Mark Davis, Hechicero. Why did I forget the last one? Oh, Josh Alexander. Oh my God. Why is he going to make fun of Kota Ibushi? And also sending well wishes to Kota Ibushi because he broke his fibula and he's going to be out for probably 2 years, which really sucks. And that's the downfall of professional wrestling, because when they have serious injuries like that, you don't know what the time frame is. And I thought at least if he was healthy, he could have helped out with the Don Callis family. So, because that was the angle that I was thinking with Kota Ibushi, because he also wants to take out Don Callis as well. But things happen. You got to pivot. AEW has to learn to pivot, but I'm sure when Kota Ibushi gets healthy, he wants his hands on the Don Callis family. So I don't know how long Don Callis has to hold that voice with Hechicero. Crazy. But we do have a trios action with Hechicero, Mark Davis, and Josh Alexander. And I believe Hechicero gets a rematch with Bandino for the Ring of Honor. Yeah, for the Ring of Honor World Championship, because I could have sworn because I think they recently had a round 2 match. I believe they did have a round 2 match for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship match. Yep, Boza. I kind of knew because there was something there. They recently did have a match of round 2. And I was very happy that I got to see the first round in Philly at 2300, and it was a really good match. The fans are on their feet. I loved it. I still have some footage that I have for Ring of Honor Final Battle, so I gotta post that too, but I will post that soon. And Boza, going back to your comment where you think no way, and you think Marina wants a title, when you really think about it, Jon Moxley, and this is crazy because this is kind of going back what Darby said last year when the Death Riders were forming. They're a unit. They're cohesive. They get on the same page. Whereas on the opposite side, you try to get somebody from Team AEW, they're not on the same page. Egos get involved. Everybody's not thinking about the bigger picture. They're thinking about their own stuff and everything else. But I think this is going to be the time where Darby's going to bring out some misfits. And also with the fact, too, I have a slight feeling Chris Statlander is not only going to take out Toni Storm, I also have a feeling she may also take out Harley Cameron. Because when you really think about it, if you want to give Chris Statlander a lot of nuclear heat, and for me, she works a lot more better as a heel than she does as a babyface, why not take out two of your most popular ladies in the women's division? And with the fact, too, because this is going to be very interesting how this is going to go. Because obviously we're going to have a women's blood and guts, but also you're still going to have the Death Riders lurking. And obviously Darby, but Darby's going to need a team of misfits. And no, Sting is not coming back. Sting is on his retirement tour. He's retired. He's done. He let the man enjoy his life. I know we did see him last year at Wembley Stadium, but let that man live his life. But I think Darby's going to really have to get some misfits in. He's going to kind of have to tap into the conglomeration. Also, I wouldn't mind seeing my mother Timeless get involved with the Death Riders. I wouldn't mind seeing her go crazy a bit and have her do some other storylines there, because if she's not going to be involved in Blood and Guts, then you could have her involved, because I feel like it would be nice to involve some ladies within the division, because it does give a lot more depth within storyline. It's not the same women that you see every single week. It's like, let's change it up a bit. Let's see them get fresh. Let's see them get down and dirty. And I'm in on it. And also, I still believe Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness are going to get involved with the Death Riders. It's just a matter of time. But I do believe they're still going to get involved. I'm still believing and being optimistic about that. But here comes Jurassic Express. Jack Perry, Luchasaurus. Back together again. Very interesting. And with the fact too, Jack Perry was the one that brought Luchasaurus back to life in that crazy lab where he had that mad scientist get up. A man and his dinosaur will try to get $250K a piece on Saturday. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be a very, very interesting. I know. I mean, I like Bryan Danielson commentary, but I know the poor guy. I know the poor guy wants to imagine a dinosaur with a quarter. Question is, as a dinosaur, what would you do with that kind of money? That's the question. What would you do as a dinosaur with that kind of money? What would you do? And here we see Kenny Omega making his return. I will say, like, anytime Kenny is on, doesn't matter what show, Dynamite, New Japan, or Collision, I feel like Kenny just has that aura. He just has that aura. He has that presence. There's just something about him. And people will drive that many miles to see Kenny Omega, because that just shows how good of a wrestler he is. And look, a lot of the fans at ringside love Kenny Omega. If a man and his dinosaur win, you know AEW will have segments with them having fun. Oh, yes, Boza. I cannot wait for those segments. If they do win, I kid you not, I would crack up to see what kind of money they would spend with. I would crack up so much just to see what money they will spend. And yes, I know we do want to send well wishes to Kota Ibushi. Sucks that he got injured, because I think he would have been involved more with Death Riders, with the Don Callis family, with the fact his teammate is Kenny Omega. Kind of needs some help in there, but do want to wish Kota Ibushi well wishes. It does suck. But we have a trios match in action. We have Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express taking on Josh Alexander, Hechicero, and Mark Davis. And also, we are in hour number 2 of this special 3-hour edition of Timeless Elite Wednesday. So you get to hang with me, your PR princess, your Timeless Elite, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me, with you on this watch along. Hi, Hassan Terrell. Also, I know it is Wrestledream week, because I know everybody in the chat's going to put in what match you're looking forward to for this weekend at Wrestledream. I actually do have one request, because if you've been watching WWT Live on Monday and the last couple weeks, our mayor said is trying to put me into court thinking that people want CEO Wednesdays, which technically they don't. So I want people to put in the chat on what is it that you love about Timeless Elite Wednesdays? And also, what do you think is working? What's not working? What do you love about this watch along? What could I be doing differently? And also with the fact too, what else do you want to say to the mayor? Like, why do you think Timeless Elite Wednesdays should stay instead of CEO Wednesdays? That's all I have to say. But feel free to put that in the chat throughout the night, because he's trying to take me to court. He's trying to think he's going to win, but I don't think that's going to happen, because your PR princess carries receipts. Hi, Hassan Terrell. So, my Monday was very good. It's Indonesia's People Day. That's what I referred to on Monday. But it was a really great Monday. I was very happy to enjoy it, even though there was a bad storm that happened. I was very happy to enjoy it. And also interesting to watch Monday Night Raw at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's very unusual to watch it, but I was very happy to watch it on Netflix. But going back here to this trios match that's happening, it's Hechicero and Kenny Omega in the ring. It's a cheap shot by Josh Alexander. Oh my goodness, Hechicero landed on his feet. Oh, nice crossbody dive by Kenny Omega. Josh Alexander trying to play mind games. Josh Alexander is, I know, Boza, that creep is smiling. Josh Alexander's just playing mind games with Kenny. And of course, that creep had his headphones off. Oh, of course that creep has to call Mark Briscoe a moron. Leave that man be. All right, we got some trios action. Bro Dino and Mark Briscoe taking on members of the Don Callis family, Kyle Fletcher, Lance Archer, and Rocky Romero still to come in the trios match. So that's what we have. Obviously, I am looking forward to Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. I'm very, very excited on this match. And this is the 5th time they met because I see number 5 in the middle. So this probably is the 5th time they met. Very excited for that. And we're also going to have the AEW World Tag Team titles. Bro Dino taking on the unusual tag team of Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. That's going to be very interesting. I know. It's like, oh, Joey, we don't have to put up. Unfortunately, Bozy, you got to deal with him in another match. So, yes. But here comes Jack Perry taking on Josh Alexander. Nice move by Luchasaurus. And remember, Jurassic Express, they're no stranger to tag teams. They are former AEW World Tag Team Champions. Just so we're clear. Nice move by Luchasaurus. And it's still incredible because over a year ago, he had a very dangerous and severe health scare that almost took his life. And just seeing this from then to now, it's really incredible to watch. And I'm very happy to see Luchasaurus healthy, back in the ring and in action. Kick out made by Josh Alexander. Jack Perry is in the ring. Tag is made to Mark Davis. Happy to see Mark Davis back after he broke his foot. And the only person missing from the Don Callis family is Brian Cage. And I know Brian Cage is suffering from a serious injury that he had. Mark Davis is really putting a beating on Jack Perry. And I'm watching this on TBS, by the way. So it is in picture. The match is still going on live. Of course, we see that creep dog Callis looking on. Pretty sure he's going to put his hands on somebody. I didn't appreciate him putting his hands on Orange Cassidy. I did not appreciate that one at all. So, but a lot is going to happen, and I'm very excited. Wrestledream is going to be a good card. I'm very excited to see the match is going to happen. I'm very excited and intrigued to watch it. And just to confirm, there will be a watch along this weekend. So just a quick FYI, there will be a watch along this weekend. I just can't believe this month is October and we only have 2 months left of 2025. So, yeah, this is crazy. crazy. We are almost at the halfway point. So it's one of those things, but also feel free in the chat on who you guys have winning this match. Do you have Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express winning, or do you have Hechicero, Mark Davis, or Josh Alexander winning this match as well? So it is a good trios match so far, and I'm happy that I'm just happy that a lot of members in the Don Callis family are getting a lot of TV time. I mean, I know I call him a creep, I call him a jerk, I call him everything else, but for him to have that group, especially as a manager, because at first it was like Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher, and then you had Will Ospreay for a bit. I don't have a problem. It's very interesting, and especially with some of the people he managed right now, especially, him with Takeshita, having those ties to New Japan, it's really happy to see. It's very, very happy to see. So I'm very excited to see. I'm very excited to see how Takeshita goes with his reign as IWGP champion. Also, very curious on how they're going to use him on AEW television. That's going to be fun too. And we are back live with this wild trios match. Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express taking on members of the Don Callis family, Josh Alexander, Hechicero, and Mark Davis. And we did see Kenny Omega taking down Hechicero right in the barricade. And Kenny is being stubborn as usual. I'm like, you guys are a tag team. You have the common enemy. Jack Barry trying to get a tag in for Kenny Omega. Okay, he got the tag in, so Kenny got the tag. I mean, even though there's still a lot of animosity with each other, you have a common enemy of the Don Callis family. That's like the best thing Don Callis wants to see is everyone fighting with each other and not fighting with his family. Kenny Omega. Oh man, look at Kenny. That was an interesting move, and he landed on his feet. Ooh, kick out made by Josh Alexander. You should be scared, Don Callis. Oh my goodness, he kicked that ring rope with authority. Another German suplex by Josh Alexander. Oh my goodness, Kenny. That was a kick out. Josh Alexander had his hand on the rope, but that is hilarious. Here comes Luchasaurus. Mark Day. I love that they're chanting meat. That's kind of hilarious. I love that they're chanting meat. It's very hilarious. Like, meat! Meat! Both men are down. Jack Barry, nice DDT by Josh Alexander. Oh man, look at Hechicero. Look at Luchasaurus. Tag is made to Kenny Omega. Him and Mark Davis. I think Kenny Omega wants to end this here. As the look at that creep at ringside. What does he think he's doing? And Josh Alexander shinned his knee. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna beat the crap out of him. I can feel it. And oh my goodness, Jack Perry sacrificed himself to save Kenny Omega. Nice counter by Kenny Omega. Ooh, and his knee. He's still feeling it from Josh Alexander. Insecurity by Mark Davis. Oh my goodness, that has to be it. Kick out by Kenny Omega. I really thought that was it because it looked like Kenny was done after that. And Hechicero's coming in, trying to put more damage into it. I think this match is more than just winning. I think this is really trying to put an end to Kenny Omega's career. And it looks like Luchasaurus, choke slam. And the tag is made to Jack Perry. All right, well, what are Jurassic Express doing? Oh, that has to be it. Two. And that's it. And your winners of this match, Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express. Look at all the fans like roaming into Jurassic Express music, but it was a nice match. Congratulations to all this, but and also it's a good warm-up match for Jurassic Express because they got a big match against the Young Bucks this weekend of 500K. Oh, and look, and speaking of the Young Bucks, super kick onto Luchasaurus and another super kick. I thought we would go one show Young Bucks free, but I was mistaken. And look at Kenny. Kenny's outside the ring. Kenny's thinking like, what's he doing? So Kenny comes out and saves Jack Perry. Look at the Young Bucks. Jeez. I guess there's a lot of animosity between Kenny and the Young Bucks. Double clothesline by Luchasaurus. Yeah, 500K this weekend. Pretty much whoever the winner of that tag team will be 500K richer. Lord knows, I would love for Jurassic Express to win. But nice diving moonsault by Jack Perry, taking all the members of the Don Callis family and the Young Bucks out. And it really gives them amp for their match. I know. I don't think, Rosa, you're right. We have not seen it. We've seen it on a Dynamite. We've seen it on a Collision. We just never seen it on a pay-per-view. And I guess it's going to be interesting. And I just realized Tony Khan's going to have a busy, busy day of traveling because tonight they're in Kansas City, Missouri. So they're in Missouri all this week for pay-per-view week until Saturday for Wrestledream. He has to be there for that. Then he has to travel to Wembley Stadium to see the Jaguars play this weekend. So he has a busy, busy weekend when it comes to wrestling and football. I hope he drinks a lot of coffee in those 24, 48 hours because he's going to need it. And especially with the time zone difference, that's going to be very interesting. But in all seriousness, I do want to thank everybody Yeah, Boza. Jaguars are playing in London this week. They will be at Wembley Stadium. But I just want to thank everybody for joining with me on this special edition of Timeless Elite Wednesday with your PR princess, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me. I know Seth is trying to get at me and trying to make it CEO Wednesdays, but I created Timeless Elite Wednesday and it's my day. So feel free to put in the chat on what do you guys like about Timeless Elite Wednesday. What is it that you like? What is it that you don't like? Also, what is that you would like to see more? But also, we do have a cool initiative that Women's Wrestling Talk is doing, and they're really trying to continue the journey, the history, the love and experience of women's wrestling. And feel free to check out this project that Women's Wrestling Talk is doing right now.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches January 1st, 2026, and it's gonna pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might think he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Make sure to support this cool initiative that we're doing courtesy of our boss lady, TK Trinidad. I'm happy to spend it with all of you. I'm actually looking at the comments like, we want to thank you. I know, Boza, my schedule can be a little bit crazy, but I always try to make sure to fit in Wednesdays with all of you. Because I think the only time I didn't do a watch along, the only time I didn't do a watch along was Christmas Day, because everybody wanted to be home with their families. And obviously, of course, there were times where obviously, I know there was a few times I couldn't do it because AEW was in town on Wednesday. So it's like I couldn't pass up that opportunity, especially when they did the residency in Philadelphia. That was so awesome. But yes, it's fun to see. It's fun to spend Wednesdays here. We don't have to hear Mayor whining if one of his clients don't win. Courtney admits it was a bad night and it happens. That is true, sir. You know, if some of my people have a really, really, really bad day, I just dust off and just move on to the next thing because I know all my people are healthy. And, you know, it's funny during the watch along that Councilman and Mayor did on Heatwave, they thought I had like 10, 16 clients. I have 6 clientels and they're all on AEW. And there's a reason why I picked them. I mean, obviously the woman that got me into AEW, obviously Toni Storm. I call her Mother Timeless. The second one is actually because we have ladies action happening. Sky Blue, accompanied to the ring by Julia Hart, and lady number 2, she's coming out right now, Jamie Hayter. And I just love wrestlers from the UK. They're just so fun to watch. I mean, not just the accent, but they're just so fun to watch. And there's Jamie Hayter, number 2, because there's something about Jamie that I love. And she doesn't take a lot of shit from anybody. That's what I love about her. Obviously, the third one is another Brit from the UK, Alex Windsor, because she's more than just Mrs. Will Ospreay. She definitely can put a beating up her too. And also with the fact too, her and Jamie actually faced off against each other in the independent scene in the UK. And it was a good match, by the way. You got to check out that match. So obviously, Tony, Jamie, Alex Windsor. Obviously, my main squeeze, Orange Cassidy. I mean, come on. He's from my home state. I love him. He's great. Even though he looks cool, don't let his looks fool you because he can be very dangerous in the ring and he will be in your face. So that's what I love about Orange Cassidy. And obviously, of course, Caster and Anthony Bowens. I mean, obviously, but I will see it happening. But we got some ladies action. Jamie Hayter taking on Sky Blue. And yes, blood and guts. Oh, yes. Boza. It will be official, but very curious on who is going to be in that lineup, because there's so many scenarios you could do it. I mean, obviously, you're going to have all 3 members of the Triangle of Madness. I could see Megan Bayne being part of it. The last spot, I could see either, because I know people would say Marina Shafir. I could see for the last spot either Mercedes or Athena. I could see one of them taking that last spot, depending on how it seems. But for the other side, I do see Queen Amanada, Jamie Hayter. I could see Harley Cameron thrown in. Also, my lady, Tony Storm. If Tony Storm's not involved with the Death Riders, I can see Tony being involved in Blood and Guts. And also Willow Nightingale, with the fact she's kind of in a feud right now with Megan Bayne. But my prediction still stands. I do see her, and hopefully, depending on when Beth comes back, the 2 of them taking on Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne. That's a tag team I want to see. I know people want to see Beth versus Stokely, but I got to see the ladies in action. But nice seeing Jamie Hayter. And there's a reason why Jamie Hayter is a former AEW Women's Champion. And I'm still having hope, because even though Tony and Jamie, if they're on the same team, this could add another developmental layer to their story. Because I feel like they have a lot of story they could tell leading up to Wembley next year. There's also with the fact, too, Jamie Hayter has never wrestled at Wembley Stadium. And I would love to see her wrestle at Wembley Stadium. I mean, I know people want to see Mercedes win the AEW Women's title and all this and stuff, but I would love to see Jamie Hayter win the AEW Women's Championship in her home country. Now, I know everybody's pulling for Ospreay to win the world title at Wembley, but I would love to see Jamie get her Wembley moment. It would be cool to see her be a 2-time AEW Women's Champion. But that's just something that happens. BBC Julia Hart at ringside. I just can't believe that we're having a women's match that doesn't even involve a title. And that's insanity. And I was like, have I been saying this for the last couple of months? We need more storylines. We need to add more matches. Tony Khan, I think you need to cut the check, sir. You need to cut the check and give me some money. Jamie Hayter, you don't want to mess with the angry Brit. And look at that, Jamie and Julia Hart. Julia Hart is she's not oblivious, but kicked by Sky Blue. Also, side note, feel free to check out the interview I did with Julia Hart. That's up on WWT socials from Queen of the Ring Red Carpet. It was really fun interviewing Julia Hart and really learning more about her and everything else, especially in the future. I do see there's a lot of potential with Julia Hart, and it was really great interviewing her, seeing how she recited her theme song word for word, which that is very talented. And also any ladies in the women's division that she would like to face. I was very happy to see she got to face off against Mercedes. She got to face off against Tony. She got to face off against Jamie Hayter. So, as I mentioned, I'm watching some TBS. It's in picture-in-picture. And the match is still going on. Obviously, Julia Hart putting the distraction on the referee and Sky Blue taking advantage. And also, I did read in a report that it looks like Queen Amanada suffered an injury on Collision? Because I was reading something about that. But I could be wrong, because I think it said that she suffered an injury. Okay, so I'm looking at a report from Fightful. So it said here that she hurt her knee before the taping last week. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to play out with Queen Aminata, because if her knee is really, really bad, I'm not sure if she's going to wrestle in the Blood and Guts match, which is really sucks because Queen Hamanata has been putting a lot of work in, because when Jamie Hayter and a few other ladies were hurt, she stepped into the fray. She stepped up to the plate, and it was nice that I got to see her on TV, because I said I want to see more of her on TV. I want to see more of her on TV. So if her knee is very swollen and very hurt, that is going to shift a lot of gears with the women's Blood and Guts match. I mean, obviously we could see Jamie. I'm still throwing in there, if Toni Storm is not with the Death Riders, God forbid if she doesn't get seriously injured, we could see Toni. I could predict Harley. I could see Willow being in the match. So I don't know. I have to really think about this, because if Queen Aminata's hurt, I have to really, really think about this. Because I know for some odd reason, I could see Alex Windsor feuding with Mercedes Moné for the TBS title, because it's going to happen sooner than later. Hello, Nathan. Hello, Frederick Cole. Thank you for joining on Timeless Elite Wednesday with your PR princess, Stone Cold Courtney, with you. We're back with a match for the ladies. Jamie Hayter, my gal, taking on Sky Blue one-on-one. Yeah, but I think it's going to be 5-on-5, because for the men's Blood and Guts, if it's going to be on 5-on-5, you might as well give the ladies 5-on-5. I mean, it's only fair. And plus, we may see some ladies that we have not seen in a while. So this could be the really fun part about it. Who do you think debuts on Sunday? Oh, that's a good question. It's very hard to say, because I really can't put my finger on who debuts, because I know we talked about this on Monday with WWT, with the releases and everything, like with Wesley and the people from WWE ID. I don't know who will debut, because that it's just kind of a wait and see. Like, I did not think Andrade was going to come back during the 6-year anniversary of Dynamite. I was like, what? So it's only time will tell. I can't put my finger on it, because there's just so many things. But we shall see what happens. Not debut, but not if you say returning to action. I still have some hope that Bryan Danielson will probably interfere in Darby Allin's match, because Darby Allin's going to get his group of misfits and go against the Death Riders, especially what happened last year at WrestleDream. So that's just me. Ooh, nice move by Sky Blue. Nice counter by Jamie Hayter. They're just throwing punches. Nice counter by Sky Blue. Ooh, back breaker. These ladies are putting in, and we're in hour number 2. And we still got some matches to go. We're in hour number 2. And also after this, we got an hour of Collision. Who knows what's going to be on Collision? Nathan Campbell, who do you put in Darby's group? Oh, that's interesting. This can play out in any way possible, because you will have some members of the conglomeration, even though some of them are feuding with Don Callis. I'm definitely going to throw in Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson still wants revenge. And also, and I said this earlier, and I'm going to say this again, I do see Nigel McGuinness getting involved. With the fact Daniel Garcia a couple weeks ago called him a parasite. I don't think Nigel thinks like, oh, I forgot about it. I don't think Nigel forgets about those kinds of things. Oh, look at the power by Jamie Hayter. That is the power. There's a reason why Jamie is a former AEW Women's Champion, and I love it. But going back to your point, Nathan, I could see Danielson. I could see Nigel. And I could see a mixture of members from the conglomeration, depending. I could see, obviously, Orange Cassidy, because he has the, next to Danielson, he has the most experience with all the members of the Death Riders. He's faced off against all of them before, so I could see OC throwing in there, because he still has some salt lick. OC, I could see. I'm trying to see who else from the conglomeration, because I know Mark Briscoe is feuding with Kyle Fletcher. I think the one that turned, I think you meant Daddy Magic. You might have said Daddy Magic, I could see, because Daddy Magic needs to get involved. So it's a possibility of a mixture. But yeah, I could definitely see like OC being involved. Definitely Danielson, I'm still going to throw in Nigel. Like I said, Nigel is kind of confused as well. But I could see the rest of the conglomeration come in. Hater raid! That has to be it. She put a nasty haterade, and your winner, Jamie Hayter. She's a woman that I would have to mess with. But I am going to still put out hope that she is going to get a match at Wembley next year. And I would love for nothing more for her to win the AEW women's title in her home country at Wembley next year. Yes, Haterade having a 1-for-1 today. Well, earlier because of my lady, Toni Storm. But yeah, so nice to see Jamie Hayter get the victory. And you can see Julia Hart giving the dirty look to Jamie Hayter, especially right for a big match against Tekla this week. Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm looking forward to seeing that match this weekend. And not because Jamie Hayter's part of my clientele, but this is like one of the first women's matches we don't have a title. And I'm excited for this match. And I can't wait till we do both predictions, because it's going to be so good. Oh, and look, there's Tekla.
Misunderstood in Europe, got kicked out of Japan. I've been around the world, and I'm not impressed. The reason I attacked you in May is you were just this. Wrong place at the wrong time, and now you are again. My game has been chaos, because my name means chaos. My name means poison, and on Saturday, baby, it's gonna get toxic to the core. So come on. Impress me.
Whoa, man. It looks like she's insulting Jamie, but it's going to be a banger of a match. It is an opportunity. And by the way, too, Tekla is still undefeated, and she not had a pinfall loss. Whew. Whew. Well, we're going to get backstage from the lovely Renee Paquette. And look, and you know what's funny? I did talk about Mercedes Moné appearing tonight or Saturday. So let's see what she has to say. Oh, Ultimo Moné. She made that trademark today, folks. Yeah, because she has a big weekend. She has to do the CMLL women's title, and she's also defending for a title on Sunday. Yes, Friday she will be the longest. With-
509 days. Oh my! I love it when I don't have to do work around here. I love when I don't have to do the math, Renee. So yes, your champion, your CEO will be making her way to WrestleDream. But I'll be coming in with all of my 10 titles and as the longest TBS.
Did I just say she may have a celebration on Saturday? Didn't I just say that? I just said this earlier. I just said this earlier that she could have a celebration at WrestleDream this weekend. You gotta give me the I need to check. I was just you thought she may. I know, that's what I said. She may be celebrating. Man, I didn't think I was just saying she may, but I was like, okay, well, it looks like she's gonna be celebrating a WrestleDream this weekend. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But going back to your point, Tekla has been a really great addition. It's like I need a lottery ticket or a crystal ball, because I was just saying this earlier that she's going to have a celebration. And then watch. I'm going to tell you this. Oh my God. I don't have a crystal ball or something, Boza, but it's kind of like... Oh my goodness. Hi, Aaron Teagle. Oh, Eddie, you said something. Someone's gonna probably debut. Someone's gonna probably debut at WrestleDream and take the TBS title. So take well, you know, Eddie Eddie, you were saying this. I know, Boza, it's all good. But it's crazy because I don't think it's somebody debuting. I'm still gonna say Alex Windsor is going to be the one to do it. I feel like she needs some of that salt back, because the last time they met, I thought it was going to end in a draw, but it was a good match. I feel like Alex Windsor is going to make a surprise on Saturday, because I would not mind seeing them go back a bit. Because like I said, because I would love for Toni Storm to reunite with her friend Alex Windsor, but I have a feeling Alex Windsor may be the one to crash the party this weekend. Yeah, she did. She took Sari to the limit on Thursday. Sari. She did. So, like I said, she may make an appearance at WrestleDream. I know people want to say somebody make a debut, but I feel like for Alex Windsor, she has to be the one to defeat Mercedes. Yeah, if it's not Alex, maybe somebody debut. But it's like, it's like if you're going to make it somebody debut, at least make it believable that she could be the person to beat Mercedes Moné. Like, don't throw somebody like in the fire and just say, oh, okay. So, but if it's not Alex, then okay, I guess I'll stick with somebody else. Because I feel like for Alex Windsor, I could see Alex Windsor being involved. I would say Blood and Guts, but I could, because if something happens to Toni Storm, I know, no offense to Lisa Lane, but it's like I really need somebody believable, because if it's not Alex, then it has to be somebody that's very believable with it. But also with the fact too, when I think about it, because if something does happen to Toni Storm with the Death Riders, and if Chris Statlander returns, I wouldn't mind seeing Alex Windsor kind of come in, because, you know, that's her friend. And with the fact too, Alex needs some lick back because of what the Death Rider did to her man. Because if Alex Windsor is not going to be involved in the TBS title, I would love for her to get involved somewhere in the Death Riders, because she needs to get some of that salt back. And also helping out her friend, Toni Storm. I would love to see Windstorm back together again and conquer. But we have a main event here, folks, for Dynamite. I know time flies when you're having so much fun. We have a main event on AEW Dynamite. We have an AEW World Trios title match. Obviously, we see the AEW World Heavyweight Champion Hangman Adam Page on commentary. And we see La Faccion and Ingobernable accompanied by Sammy Guevara. You're not seeing a ghost, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sammy Guevara. And plus, he works better as a heel anyway. We see the Beast Mortos, Dralistico, and Rouge. La Faccion Ingobernable. Taking on the Opps. Oh my. It's going to be a very hard-hitting battle. And also, don't be shocked if Sammy tries to get involved. And it's kind of crazy. This is the second week in a row we had both Mercedes and Sammy Guevara on the same program on AEW Dynamite. I don't know if anybody caught that, but this is like the second week in a row. The WrestleMania week, the Opps saved us from the death. Oh yeah, that was pretty crazy. But here comes the Opps, Powerhouse Hobbs, Shibata. Happy to see him back after being slightly hurt. But we're just waiting on Samoa Joe, the man that Hangman Adam Page is going to face, and Hangman has never beaten him. It's going to be very interesting to see. This is going to be a hard-hitting match. So feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got. Do you still have the Opps retaining, or do you have La Faccion Ingobernable getting the win? Or do you still have shenanigans from Sammy Guevara? Well, the fans are chanting for Samoa Joe, as it should be. It's going to be very interesting to see Hangman Adam Page. But this is our main event for AEW Dynamite, because after this, we are going to shift towards AEW Collision for 1 hour. And then after the 1 hour Collision, they're going to show the countdown to AEW Wrestledream. And of course, we started with two big meaty men, the Beast Mortos and Powerhouse Hobbs. And they're chanting, meat! Meat! They're chanting meat, meat. I love it when they chant meat. It's pretty hilarious. Who's gonna make the tag? Okay, the tag is made to Roosh. He wants Shibata. Here comes Shibata. Happy to see Shibata back. Ooh, Roosh put a chop in, but Shibata, he's like a man of steel. He was like, come on. It's like a battle of the chops. Roosh better be careful. Oof, nasty punch. German suplex. Shibata got up on his feet. Nice move by Shibata. Tag is made to Samoa Joe. He's facing off against the Beast. I'm laughing at Sammy with those ridiculous sunglasses. But we do see it's interesting to see Danielson and Hangman on the same announcing side of commentary. It's very interesting to watch. Tag is made to Shibata, taking on the Beast Mortos. This is definitely, I like this main event too. And I love that, you know, and this was something that I talked about a couple weeks ago, where even though some of their top tier guys like Swerve, Ospreay, MJF, some of them are going to be gone for a while. And I really like that they are using some of the stars that we had, because it is one of the perks of AEW having a loaded roster, because at least they can use stars that they can benefit from and take them to the next level. Because Darby, Hangman, Mox, they all can't do it forever. And that's why, and Kenny I'll throw in, because Kenny can't wrestle forever. The Young Bucks can't wrestle forever. And this is where I'm happy they are going to be leaning on some of their guys currently on the roster to kind of take it to the next level. Obviously, we're going to have the conglomeration with Mark Briscoe, obviously Orange Cassidy. We're seeing it right now with the Faccion and Ingobernable. They're kind of like running amok as being a heels trio. Of course, not just, I was going to say the collaboration. I mean, obviously the Death Riders, that's also another thing too. But also happy to see Bryan Danielson on commentary. I still believe he's going to be back in the ring. Don't take my word for it, but I could see the impossible pairing of Nigel McGuinness and Bryan Danielson. I'm going to keep saying this because I have a feeling it may happen sooner than you think, because they both still have issues with the Death Riders. Doing that, and also seeing a lot of storylines develop on Collision. Obviously, we're seeing the Bang Bang Gang. They just added Ace Austin, having a feud with Big Bill and Brian Keefe. Obviously, of course, we have two of my guys, Caster and Bowens, in a very interesting storyline, because we thought the Acclaim broke up, but apparently their solo runs wasn't unexpected. I mean, a lot of people are rooting for Max. Some people still on Anthony Bowens, and Uncle Jerry Lynn is trying to get the band back together, but we're going to see how this plays out. We're going to see how this plays out a bit, because I do have the Acclaim reuniting in 2026, just in time for Wembley Stadium. And also with the fact, too, if you follow the Wrestling Collective with Tommy Fierro, Uncle Jerry Lynn will be in New Jersey the day after Full Gear. So, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I may ask Jerry Lynn some questions. Well, of course, because he had an incredible wrestling career. I mean, he wrestled at 2300. He wrestled against numerous superstars the last decade, but also in his current role of AEW as well, being a trainer, a coach, but obviously getting involved in this interesting storyline between Caster and Bowens. Like, there's so many questions I want to ask him, but hopefully I can snag a little minute or two interview with Uncle Jerry. Fingers crossed. But I am watching this on TBS, so it's in picture. But up next, after we finish this trios match, we are going to segue into Collision. It's going to kick off with a tag team match. Daniel Garcia and that little runt Wheeler Yuta taking on Kyle O'Reilly and my main squeeze, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. So that match is going to kick off the 1 hour of Collision. And then after Collision, they're going to be doing the countdown to WrestleDream. So, oh my. All this and more See, I'm okay with it being 3 hours. Now, when it gets to 4 hours, when we did it for Summer Blockbuster, woo, that was like crazy. But we're back live with our main event for Dynamite. We have an AEW World Trios Championship match. The Opps taking on La Faccion and Ingobernable. Also, you have Sammy Guevara at ringside, but also you have the AEW World Heavyweight Champion Hangman Adam Page doing commentary with Bryan Danielson, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone. Very curious. Well, I mean, I would. I'm still. You know what? I know Collision's gonna be next, but it would be. You know what I would love to see, and I'm not sure if it'll happen. I would love to see Nigel McGuinness and Bryan Danielson do commentary together. That would just be a hoot and just secure a lot of ratings. And I could see them like neck and neck with each other. I could see that happening. Tony Khan, you need to make it happen. But in the ring, going back to the main event, it's Dralistico and Shibata in the ring. Shibata taking on some punches. And also feel free to put in the chat, do you still have the Opps retaining, or do you think there will be new AEW World Trios champions? And Shibata is looking directly at Rouge. Oh my. Kick out made by Dralistico. Tag is made to Powerhouse Hobbs. Shibata, meat. Oh God, Dralistico giving the finger to Powerhouse, but Powerhouse is getting the last laugh. Meat. Tag is made to Samoa Joe. Kick out made. Kick out made by Dralistico. Nice kick by Shibata. And Sagiri. Look at Dralistico. Dralistico is just putting, but Samoa Joe caught him. Oh, camel clutch. Dralistico, camel clutch. Oh my goodness. Taps out. That is it. You're winners. And still trios champions, the Opps. And yeah, I'm looking at this photo. I should take a snapshot of this between Danielson and Hangman Adam Page. I feel like that needs to be a snapshot. But they got the victory. But Samoa Joe is eyeing Hangman Adam Page ahead of their match. It's going to be a good match, though. It's going to be a really good match. And look at that. LFI. Sammy Guevara. Rouge. The Beast. It was a great match. The Reign. Rouge. I feel like Rouge is picking a fight with anybody. He took a fight with Shibata. He took a fight with Samoa Joe. Now he's picking a fight with Hangman Adam Page. Well, here comes you know what it is? Hangman's like that cowboy that doesn't give a crap about anything. And he just stands for the people. At first, I didn't understand Hangman because well, with the fact Swerve, even though Swerve did break into Hangman's house, and Hangman did set him on fire. Oh man. I feel like Roosh wants to pick a fight with almost anybody. But Samoa Joe, he's looking at the AEW World title. And there's the champ. And look at this. It's gonna be a good match. I will say it's gonna be a banger of a match. It really is. It's gonna be very good. I'm very curious if Hangman retains, what is going to be next for him? Because I know he faced off against Samoa Joe, and I know they're trying to find at least some people to kind of get that in there. But very curious if he retains, what would be next for the champion? Like, what would be next for him? Because I know he's a fighting champion, but very curious on what's next. What is next for him after he retains? But that wraps up AEW Dynamite, and we got to get ready for Collision. We're live. We are back on Collision for 1 hour. And here comes Hangman. They literally transitioned to Collision. Looks like it'll be, I was looking forward to seeing Nigel. Darn, I was looking forward to seeing him. Well, I guess my hopes have been diminished. I guess I won't see Nigel and Danielson. But it's nice to see Danielson on commentary for Collision. Yeah, this Saturday, 7 p.m., it'll be the Tailgate Brawl. And we know we already have 2 matches happening this weekend. Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron taking on Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. And FTR taking on Jet Speed. Well, here comes the referee. Referee running to the ring. Oh, thank you, Boza. I'm actually happy to spend 3 hours with you guys. Happy to. I think the most, I will say, since I started doing these watch-alongs for Dynamite and Collision, the most hours that I did for a Dynamite was 4 hours. And that was only because they combined it with Dynamite and Collision. But pay-per-views, the most I've ever done was 6 hours. And that was all in Texas. Yes, Boza. Boza, I'm going to tell you this. Her party's going to be on the main card. I don't think they're going to put it on 0 hour. She's going to be put on the main card. So, I just can't see your highest paid women in women's wrestling be on 0 hour. But ladies and gentlemen, we got some tag team action. We got that little runt wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia, accompanied by Marina Shafir, to take on Kyle O'Reilly and my main squeeze, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. I'm just waiting for somebody to kick Marina Shafir's ass. I mean, if Chris Statlander is going to join the Death Riders, I just need somebody to beat the absolute crap out of her. I thought Willow was going to do it, but I'm going to tell you something. If Chris Statlander does join the Death Riders and she does put a beating on my gal Toni Storm, Alex Windsor, you got to defend your friend. Either her or Mina Shirokana. I'm just saying. But I know Mina, she's the interim Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Here we go. Yeah, I gotta put my shades on when he's on. It has his Canadian tuxedo. And I can tell you, He's an easy Halloween costume this year. I will say that man had a busy weekend. He was at New York Comic Con. He had 2 panels. He had an exclusive interview with RJ City. I'm sad I didn't go to New York Comic Con last week. I could have met that man in a panel. I could have met that man. But I'm still making plans to go next year. Hopefully he's there next year. I'm hoping he's there next year. I would love to meet him and try on his shades. But we have tag team action. Anybody that knows me knows I love boy bands, and I think if I said to myself, if I ever did a boy band edition of AEW, I could throw in Orange Cassidy in that mix. Him, Will Ospreay, Konosuke Takeshita. I gotta think of 2 more for this. I'll let you know throughout the show, but that was just something in my head. Look at this. That little run is so scared of Orange Cassidy. It really doesn't. He's scared. I know Daniel. I mean, I do like the heel persona for Daniel Garcia, but I'm like, don't you mess with it. Don't you mess with Orange Cassidy. That man did not become a 2-time AEW International Champion for nothing. That's all I have to say. And I'm actually looking at some of these tweets on TV. I'm not even going to read that tweet that's on TV. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to read it. Tekla just farms Aura, bro. She is her. So far, Daniel has had the chance to shine. Yeah, that is true. I mean, you got to give credit to John Moxley because they call him Old Reliable. I do think he is giving a lot of opportunity to guys you won't see on a week-to-week basis. I mean, obviously, Wheeler Yuta. Orange Cassidy doing Daniel Garcia's whole dance. Oh my god, that was funny. That was hilarious. Oh boy. I can tell you everybody's going to be dressing up as Orange Cassidy for Halloween. Trying to make Daniel remember. I know, that was hilarious. Well, the tag is made to Kyle O'Reilly. I know Kyle O'Reilly still has some issues with the Death Riders. Obviously, he still wants revenge against Kyle Fletcher. Hopefully, we see another round of Kyle versus Kyle, because that's a very fun and underrated trilogy in AEW so far. I wouldn't mind seeing another round of Kyle versus Kyle, and this time Kyle O'Reilly being Kyle Fletcher, and he'll be the better Kyle. Ooh, nice double team by Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy. And feel free to put in the chat out who you guys got. Do you have Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly, or do you have Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta? Look at he's like, but Kyle O'Reilly put on those kicks. Nice super kick by Orange Cassidy. Oof. It's just I'm liking this. I'm liking this. I'm liking the chops on the Yuta. Give him more. And look at this. Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta ain't having it. Oh. Because I'm going to tell conglomeration is making Marina very I know, right? Well, this is TBS. I'm watching this on TBS. So We are going in picture. That is a snapshot right there. Kyle O'Reilly doing the thumbs up. And Orange Cassidy looking on. If I were Marina Shafir, you better back away from my guy, Orange Cassidy. Last time you tried to get involved, he kicked you. Nice high five by Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy. High five. High fives for everybody. Punch it on the tin. I literally said if I try. My God. Ooh, nasty bump on the Orange Cassidy onto the chair.
Hey, did you just like a photo of me from 3 years ago? Goldfish have short memories. Be like goldfish. I didn't know you studied abroad. With today's NBA stars, no lead is safe. Bet on it. Up 20 used to be a lock. Instead, Booker and Bronson.
So, sorry, I'm actually looking at this because apparently the rumor mill with Chris Jericho seems to get louder and louder.
What are you eating? What are you eating? Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. It's the dog park. Protect your pet from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Okay. Sorry, I'm like looking through everything. Because there's just so much loud news happening, especially regarding Chris Jericho. I have to watch. I'm going to watch today's episode of WWT before I go to bed. Because I know it's just getting louder and louder. But like I said earlier, I mean, at the end of the day, it is Chris Jericho's choice. I can't say anything on that. But if he wants to come back to WWE, great. If he wants to come, if he wants to stay in AEW, and we are back live, ladies and gentlemen. We are back live with our tag team match. Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly taking on Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia of the Death Riders, and you have Marina Shafir. Yeah, I know. It's very interesting. It's getting louder and louder by the minute, but I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. So we shall see. I mean, if he does come back, great. If he stays in AEW, that's fine too. But I also would not be shocked if he did have some AEW stars when I got closer. Or like he wants to save a surprise just to like piss off some of the quote unquote dirt sheets. Because it's like everybody wants to be the first to break the story out without knowing the facts. But like I said with Chris, we shall see. Kyle O'Reilly putting on those kicks. And also shout out to the brand I drink too. They are one of the brands that collabs with AEW. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, because like yeah, but I know he was on tour with Fozzy for a minute, and plus he was doing his podcast, Talk is Jericho. Ooh, he's putting it in his pockets. Look, Ma, no hands in pockets. Oh man, I just love that. Even though the Death Riders get so annoyed, I just love how Orange Cassidy is in their heads. But don't underestimate Orange Cassidy. Don't underestimate Orange Cassidy, because he can be very dangerous in the ring. He faced off with every single member of the Death Riders. There's a reason why he's a two-time international champion. Get it right, people. Nice DDT. And not only is a two-time AEW international champion, he's from my home state. Marina should know better, because you don't mess with OC. You know what I would love? I know this is hard to watch, but I wouldn't mind OC giving an orange punch to Marina Shafir. I wouldn't mind that. That would be okay with me. Oh! Look at if you see that, look who's back there, Jon Moxley. Look at Jon Moxley. And also with the fact too, if you saw earlier, Darby Allin got destroyed. He got very bloodied, so I don't think we're gonna see him. And I'm pretty sure he is eyeing Orange Cassidy, because around this time last November, from November, he faced off against Jon Moxley for the AEW World Title in his home state of New Jersey. He's back from said prison. Yeah, I know. But I'm pretty sure we ain't going to see Darby Allin no time soon. So, because Darby got destroyed. Ooh, look at Kyle. Is Kyle going to get the win? Hold on, wait a minute. John, orange punch on the Yuta. I can tell you something. OC and John know. And Daniel Garcia tapped, but Marina Shafir. Oh, man. And there's Pac. Oh, man. Well, there's no surprise there. I'm surprised the ref didn't call the bell. This is about making sure John looks good. He's so shaken that Darby wants I quit. I know. Boza, I am going to rant about this, because it doesn't shock me. And I said this, if you have a year ago, in November, John and Orange Cassidy met. And look, they want to take out Orange Cassidy. They want to take out Kyle O'Reilly. And you know what's funny? This is all happening when Mark Briscoe has his big match against Kyle Fletcher. And I would like to see, they're taking out Darby. They're taking out both. Where's the rest? Oh, here we go. Here's Ish. Here's Roddy. And there's Roddy. But they're kind of outnumbered because they don't have any of the collaboration. See, I don't like that Marina's taking out my guy, Orange Cassidy. And it's a shame, because Willow is helping out with FTR. This is where I think they're going to get a lot of ladies' help from Toni Storm. But it looks like Mox is like strutting around. I can tell you he's probably scared of Darby Allin. Huh? Ah! I did not think Darby Allin was going to show up on Collision, because we saw him destroyed on Dynamite. I can't believe he's up. God bless your little soul. I wish he had a flamethrower. What's John gonna say in the mic? Poor guy. He got beat up so badly on Put Pack. Oh man, Claudio just took out Darby Allin. I know Bryan Danielson is like sitting on the edge of his seat and he wants to get involved so bad. So badly. I know Bryan Danielson wants to get up so badly. Oh my goodness, Pac! Pac already put a beating on him earlier. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. I can see. Oh, look at Darby. Darby Allin, God bless that man's soul. He just doesn't know when to quit. It's a shame his buddy Sting is on retirement because we did see him appear last year at Wembley Stadium. Is it? That man is still crawling. I know. It's a shame he doesn't have his buddy. That's why I said it's a shame he doesn't have his buddy Sting with him. Because I feel like anytime Sting comes in, it's like everybody stops and freezes. Man. God bless Darby Allin's little soul. I know Bryan Danielson really wanted to help him out. Look at Darby's head. That man does not know the word quit. Hey, look, you got to give credit to that man. That man climbed Mount Everest. Oh, and here's the rest of the conglomeration. I really need somebody to kick Marina Shafir's ass because I have nothing against women getting involved, but it's starting to get very repetitive with her, and I just really want somebody in the women's division to beat the crap out of her. I thought it was going to be Willow, but I'm going to tell you something. If Statlander does join the Death Riders, Tony Storm, man. If Tony Storm gets involved in any way, you gotta give credit to Darby. I love that man. You better be very scared. I know for this I Quit match, I feel like it's 5 or 6 on 1. And I know, Boza, you want me to rant on this, but I think it should. You would think this would main event. And also the first year they did Wrestledream. You know what was the main event the first year that they did Wrestledream? I believe, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, because they started this in 2023. They started Wrestledream, and the main event was Darby Allin, Christian Cage for the TNT Championship in Darby's home state. So, This should be the main event for I Quit. I think it's going to be 5 or 6-on-1 for Darby, but I feel like Darby's going to have some tricks up his sleeves. It's going to be very interesting to see that, because I feel like Darby's not going to come alone. He's going to have some misfits. And look at Darby Allin still in the ring, but I just feel like he has some tricks up his sleeves, and he's going to need a group of misfits to help him out in this match. And you're right, John. I feel like Jon Moxley is scared of Darby Allin, but that's is where he's old reliable, because he's helping building up some of the young stars take it to the next level. We have seen it not just with Darby. We have seen him feud with Kenny, Hangman, Samoa Joe, Swerve. He gave Orange Cassidy his first main event pay-per-view match that involved the AEW International Championship. So it's going to be very much of a brutal match. But like I said, I do think Darby is going to have a little bit of some help. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because like I said, I'm taking everything with a grain of salt when it comes to Chris Jericho. If he does go back to WWE, great. And John will definitely continue the great work that Chris did. Because, like, you know, I know people were BSing on the learning tree, but you got to admit, it pretty helped the game, the long end game, because for me, this is like the most TV time I have seen of both Big Bill and Brian Keith. Like, when was the last time you've ever seen them have this much TV time? And especially on their own. That is crazy. And with the fact, too, some members from the Jericho Appreciation Society, they're getting a lot of TV time as well. Like Daddy Magic, Daniel Garcia, Ty, Sammy Guevara, even Anna Jay has been getting some TV time as well. So, you know, you can't deny. And also, John is putting the work in. It's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to go. And like I said, Darby is going to need some misfits to help him out with the Death Riders, because God knows he can't do it on his own. I feel like Bryan Danielson is itching to get back and help him out. Also, with the fact, too, WrestleDream is the same pay-per-view where a year ago, Bryan Danielson's career was over due to the Death Riders. And everybody in that locker room was freaking out. Oh my God. I just realized it. So this past Sunday was 1 year ago that Bryan Danielson's career ended. October 12th. It was this past Sunday. Because I just looked up the date for WrestleDream last year, and wow, that's crazy. So Darby's going to have to do a lot of recruitment. And also with the fact, too, because Boza, I know you said this earlier, but I do have a feeling that Chris Statlander is still going to join the Death Riders after WrestleDream and take out Tony Storm, because if you want to get nuclear heat, how else are you going to do it when you take out one of the big top name ladies in the women's division? And this is where Tony is going to help align herself with Darby Allin. And also, you could throw in Alex Windsor too, because if you're not going to get Alex Windsor to face off for Mercedes for the TBS, get the reunite of Windstorm. Yeah, there's a lot of things I could talk about in my head. But we see Megan Bayne coming out. As I mentioned, for the Tailgate Raw is going to be Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne taking on Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale. And Megan Bayne's not coming alone. Oh, Lord. We got these guys. FTR and that Weasel Stokely. Well, oh, Tony Schiavone being so sarcastic and blunt. I love that about him. I love that. Wow. We're going to hear Megan Bayne talk.
How does it feel knowing that you came out here and gave it everything that you had, only to realize that it still wasn't good enough? Now look at you, trying to dust yourself off, tag in a new friend, and take another swing at the net. You think that makes you a fighter, but really it just makes you stupid. I guess I didn't feed it through your skull hard enough, so maybe watching me tear Harley apart tonight will finally make it clear.
I'm surprised Penelope's not at ringside.
To play the hero, but your fate will always be the same. And that is bowing down to me.
I will say, Megan Bayne looks very comfortable on the mic. She does. She speaks very clear. I do like that about her. And she's a good heel. I mean, we already know you do. Well, I guess that's kind of leading into the road of them being champs. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, Dex.
I need you to think. Use your brain. Use your brain. Think about this. The last 11 years of FTR. 10 world championships across 7 different brands. Multi-time tag team of the year. Multi-time match of the year. If I show up, you all leave. You paid to see me. You paid to see me. Just being all over the people in this world who will never give us our credit. I hope that's not you. Because Saturday night, you will stand across the ring from God, just me. And there will be
Well, backstage is Jet Speed, Harley, and Willow. Harley is such a character. I mean, they're not scared. Harley! Speedball! He just sounds so gentle. He just sounds like so gentle. Oh! Harley, Cameron, and Willow, DDT! And we have a match. We have a match. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Beth to come back. I cannot wait for Beth to come back. Oh my goodness. Well, we have a match set. Where is Penelope? I know Harley. She's supposed to have a match. It's supposed to be next. Well, here comes Aubrey. She's coming out. Yes, it was. The transition was so nice. But I know the referee's coming out and we got a match next. Ooh, nice move by Kevin Knight. Well, FTR got the last beating before this weekend's tailgate. But we got a match that's supposed to be happening right now. Yeah, I was like, right now. It has to be right now. And of course, obviously, our main event is going to be the big trios match. Mark Briscoe and Brodino taking on members of the Don Callis family. Yeah, she threw everybody. Yeah, everybody has to get out of here. It's Harley Cameron taking on Megan Bayne. I know before anybody says anything, I don't think this is going to be a squash match because I actually went to a Collision in Atlantic City earlier this year. And ironically enough, Harley Cameron was in a match against Megan Bayne and really took Megan Bayne to the limit where all the fans were going for her. And we all thought Harley was going to get a legit win because it was a good match, by the way. It was a really good match. And happy to see Harley stick it like a champ. But Megan Bayne ended up getting the victory. So we shall see. But I'm just happy to see Harley in the ring. But after Collision's over, they're going to do the countdown to WrestleDream, which they're going to talk about all the top storylines that are happening this weekend. Awesome to see. And also, I just realized it too. Yes, and Boza just confirmed I will be on WWT Live on Friday because we will be giving our bold predictions to WrestleDream, and there will be a special watch along for WrestleDream this weekend. So, and also I just realized something. Since Mercedes has been at AEW, the only pay-per-view she has not wrestled in is WrestleDream. I just realized that because last year she didn't wrestle at WrestleDream. She did a backstage segment with Queen Aminata and they wrestled the Dynamite after WrestleDream. This year she's not wrestling. She's doing a celebration. I just realized that. This is the only AEW pay-per-view she has not wrestled in since she's been here. Oh, nice move by Harley. And I actually had the chance to meet Harley at WrestleCon. She's such a sweetie. Her party may turn. It's a possibility, Boza, because I just realized it. She's never wrestled at WrestleDream, but we shall see. Either it may turn into a match, Or we may have a party pooper. Oh, Boza, if we get 3 women's matches on the pay-per-view card, my God, what are we doing? My God, I know we have like a match on the tailgate brawl, but 3 matches on the women's side on the pay-per-view, what are we doing? And honestly, I really would like AEW to continue that, and plus putting a lot more different women in their division on the card. I mean, no disrespect to all the same women featured, no disrespect to my mother, Timeless, but I would like to see a lot of other women on the pay-per-view card that we have not seen before, especially if it doesn't involve the women's title. Because I don't want you to throw all your eggs in one basket and just be like, oh, okay. But if you're watching this on TBS, we do have a match that's continuing. Harley Cameron and Megan Bayne. And Harley is putting on a clinic. She is putting on a clinic. Yeah, Boza, I'm very happy that Jamie and Tekla are on the card. I'm really happy it's on a pay-per-view. It's not on a Dynamite. It's not on a Collision. And we are back live with AEW Collision. We have the ladies, Megan Bayne and Harley Cameron. And it's actually a good match so far. It doesn't feel like a squash match. It's like a one-on-one. And I'm happy Harley's getting a lot of reps. And it's funny because Mercedes was saying this in a interview. I forget which media outlet it was. She was saying that she was saying that Harley Cameron is a person that she's been eyeing for quite some time. And the puppet, Mini Monet puppet, was her idea. So you gotta give credit to... Gotta give some credit. Gotta give some credit to Harley. Oh, let me see. Look at Harley. I just love that Harley's doing amazing things. Yep, the only person that's defeated her is my mother. Mother Timeless. Toni Storm. Oh my goodness. Kick out. Oh my goodness, I love Bryan Danielson. Look at Megan Bayne. She's trying to set up for a move. Oof, that has to be it. Kick out made by Harley. See? Harley's hanging on. Oh, look at Megan. Oh, she's hosting up. She's hosting Harley. Oof, that was a nasty power bomb. That has to be it. Yep, and your winner is Megan Bayne. All right, so this weekend on Collision, well, actually, Tailgate Brawl, will be Harley and Willow taking on Megan and Penelope Ford. Megan Bayne looks like got the last laugh, but it will be really interesting to see. And we're going to hear from Hook and Eddie Kingston says he's been back. So it looks like Eddie Kingston and Hook are putting out a message for tag teams because they will be at WrestleDream this weekend. Who's going to be the tag team stepping to the plate? I don't know. I don't know. We shall see. But it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to be the team. Who is going to be the team to challenge Eddie Kingston and Hook? I don't know. It's going to be a very tough call because they want to do tag team. But yeah, we're almost done the special 3-hour edition of Timeless Elite Wednesday because we're wrapping up the 1 hour of Collision. And after this is the countdown to WrestleDream. And pretty much it'll be talking about like the main matches that are happening this weekend. So I've watched a few, like I've watched like the countdown to Full Gear. I've watched countdown to some of the other pay-per-views, and it looks really cool because it talks about some of the major storylines that are happening this weekend. So yeah, I'm very excited. And also that too. And also, since it's on commercial, I'm going to take a quick break. So make sure to get your beverage, get your water, go to the bathroom and stretch in because we're getting ready for our final match of the night before we have to get out of here. Hard to believe we're almost wrapping up Timeless Elite Wednesdays. 3 hours isn't that bad. 3 hours I can handle. When it gets to 4 hours, I'm just like, I don't know. But it has been very fun to spend 3.5 hours with all of you on this final Dynamite and Collision before we get into Wrestledream this weekend. I'm not going to do a post show tonight because I think by the look on my face, you've seen all the action that you've got and everything that's going to happen this weekend at Wrestledream, because I will be doing a live stream this Saturday. Oh, God. Alicia with Caster and Anthony Bowens, by the way.
It is very fortunate because I hate sharing the ring with somebody like you.
Oh my God. You can tell it's really real the way they argue. They really care about each other. Alicia. You think Tony really cares? Poor Alicia. Why are you calling Alicia? Ooh. I know Caster and MJF are friends, but don't you be calling Alicia. See, it's one thing you call Lexi a jerk, but you gotta go after Alicia? I'm just saying. You're lucky MJF wasn't there. I mean, I know on screen he calls her toots, but I'm just saying. Oh boy. My guys, Caster and Bowens, because technically they're not the Acclaimed, but they are Caster and Bowens. But yeah, this is where Uncle Jerry has to come in, because it's starting to build a little bit, but you gotta let it take some time and slowly and teasing it. So gotta let it give it some time, because I do have them reuniting in 2026 at Wembley Stadium. So Uncle Jerry needs to be on speed dial. Oh my God, he does. I know. Max Caster, shame on you. Why you gotta call Alicia a jerk? I'm just saying. I didn't like what you said about Lexi. But switching gears here, we're back in our main event. And yes, we got that creeped on Callis. My God. We got members of the Don Callis family. Obviously, we have the TNT champion, the face of TNT, Cal Fletcher. Because, I mean, it is Collision. You can't go wrong with that. It's like a pissing contest to see who's. I know, right? I'm like, guys. I just kind of love it because, the arguing and bickering back and forth, it's like, I'm watching this, but at the same time, I know deep down they really care about each other. It's kind of like that sibling that you have that you argue with so much, but deep down you care about them and they're not going to go away and stay in your life forever. That's how I feel when it comes to Caster and Bowens. So we have Rocky Romero, Lance Archer, and the TNT champion Kyle Fletcher taking on the AEW Tag Team Champions Bro Dino and Mark Briscoe, ahead of Mark Briscoe's big match against Kyle Fletcher for the TNT Championship. And oh Lord, we still got that creep Don Callis, and I don't really care much about him. So, anyways, we got our main event for Collision, and here we go. I know Kyle Fletcher. There is only 8 matches on the main card for Saturday. Really? 8. Well, Mark Briscoe. Mark freaking Briscoe. And here comes big Brody King. And the tag is made to oh my God, Brodino. Bandino, by the way. He's also the reigning Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, by the way. Bandino has been fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. He's just been so fun. Poor Kyle Fletcher, he's just really getting drilled. What's Bandito doing? Oh, look at the double team by Brody and Bandito. They're doing the Macarena. I love it. Well, Mark Briscoe and Bandito are doing the Macarena, but it looks like Brody King's not going to do the Macarena, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Oh my God, that's so funny. Bandito is still trying to get Brody King to do the Macarena. Oh my goodness. That is hilarious. Oh my goodness. Well, we're on picture in picture. And the match is still going on in our main event for Collision. And also feel free in the chat to see who you guys have. Do you have the Don Callis family, or do you have Mark Briscoe and Brodino picking up the victory? I know, it's crazy that they have 8 matches on the card. I guess if it was any other pay-per-view, they could have did it over. But I think with the fact, as I mentioned, their boss, Mr. Bossman Tony Khan, he's going to have an interesting air flight from St. Louis to London, England. Because the Jaguars play this weekend at Wembley Stadium. So I think Bossman better get all the caffeine coffee that he can get, because it's going to be a very interesting one. I just hope he gets enough sleep and also gets enough coffee. Yeah, me neither, Boza. I'm not complaining either. Yeah, I think with the Jaguars, yeah, because I know Tony has to be there for the team in London. So I'm not complaining either, because I feel like that's something that they can work with, and hopefully it happens for future shows. I'm hoping for Full Gear they have at least, like, because I know as much as Tony Khan likes to put like all the big matches, like 8, 9, 10 matches, and then, you know, when you're done media scrum, you ain't done till like 2:00 in the morning. I just hope for Full Gear we do get just 8 matches. Because I would be okay with that if we were done by 11. Yeah, because because I think the pay-per-view starts at 8. So 8, 9, 10. Probably and around 11, 11:30. Well, I think not too late, because I'm hoping it doesn't end too late. Because with the fact that once it ends, they have to do media scrum, then they got to go home. Well, Tony has to fly out of the country because they got an early game, the Jags. It's just crazy. They beat the 49ers last week and then dropped an egg. They dropped it to the Seahawks. I mean, the Seahawks are a good team, but whew, my God. Yeah, they play. Yep, they got a big game this weekend. The Jags, they're facing off against the Rams. Fortunately for my Dolphins, we play the Browns. I'm hoping we do not lose to the Browns this weekend, because I know someone's getting fired, and they should have been fired. But we're back alive. But shifting gears for football, we are back alive. We have our main event trios match. We have members of the Don Callis family, the TNT champion Kyle Fletcher, Rocky Romero, and Lance Archer taking on the AEW tag team champions Brodino and Mark Briscoe, right before Mark Briscoe's big match against Kyle Fletcher for the TNT championship match. Oh, here comes Brody and Lance Archer, 2 big men. I still think Brody King's going to do the Macarena sooner than later. When? I don't know. I'm hoping by the end of 2025 he does the Macarena. All right, tag is made to Brodino, but in the double team on Lance Archer. Oh my goodness, I know he was going to take his jabs. Oh, so it's been updated. It'll be a Tornadoes Trios match between the Hurt Syndicate and the Demand. You might as well give them like a street fight, for God's sakes, or something. Okay, so as I mentioned, Eddie Kingston and Hook will be in action. And we're going to have an 8-man tag match in the Tailgate Brawl. The Conglomeration taking on the Death Riders. Technically, Roddy's not a member of the Conglomeration, but he's like an honorable friend or commodity of the Conglomeration. But Wrestledream is shaping up to be a good card. They did. They had a street fight at Daly's place, but now it's a tornado match. Of course, Don Callis is whining like a big baby. I know, right? 2 street fights. Oh boy. Ooh, and your winner. He is whining. And your winners are the AEW Tag Team Champions, Bro Dino and Mark Briscoe. But it looks like Cal Fletcher and Mark Briscoe are battling it out, and they don't want to wait till Saturday for their match for the TNT title. So they're in the back, and yeah. But here comes Bandito and Brody King, and look at that. And it's that clone of Hologram, the evil clone. Yeah. And look at that. Okada was so weird in that sneak attack. He could have hit them with a belt. He was so weird in that sneak attack. And it looks like Okada Well, it looks like Okada got the last laugh, and that creeped on Callis. And I understand with Takeshita, he's not there, but I have a feeling they're going to come to blows this Saturday. And I know we're doing bold predictions this week, but I have a feeling Brodino is going to get the win. Because I don't even know how Okada and Takeshita are going to get along this weekend, because this could backfire, and it's just one step closer till we see them go one-on-one. So, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the countdown to Wrestledream, and it's so funny. I'm not watching the whole thing, but it's really funny that they're doing it from a year ago. Because technically, the storyline's been a year in the making. I can't believe it. But that pretty much ends our 3-hour edition of Dynamite and Collision. Yeah, I think he did give Takeshita the night off. So, and it's more deserving. It's been a year. It's just hard to believe it's been a year this happened. But I feel like there's a lot more storytelling to come. And I feel like Darby Allin's going to get a band of misfits together against the Death Riders. Because we saw what they did to the conglomeration. And like I said, I am going to say that I do have a feeling Chris Statlander is going to join the Death Riders and take out Tony Storm. Similar to the way John Moxley took out Bryan Danielson. But we shall see on that, because we do have bold predictions on Friday. And we have the pay-per-view on Saturday. And I'm not complaining, because it's a light card. So hopefully they get out of media scrum in appropriate time. But it has been so fun being with all of you on this special 3-hour edition of Timeless Elite Wednesday with your PR princess, your Timeless Elite, whatever you want to call me, with you joining on this tonight. I think you already have enough action for in regards to a post show, because I don't think I'm going to do a post show tonight, because with the fact it has been 3 hours. But overall, it has been a solid card leading up to Wrestledream this weekend, and it did what it needed to do. It did what it needed to do, and very checkmarked all the boxes. But I do want to give a shout out to Boza, Hassan Takir, Aaron Teagle, Eddie Foster for jumping in. I do want to thank Nathan Campbell for jumping in today. So I do want to thank everybody for jumping on this chat. Special shout out to the WWT panel, everybody on there. It has been so fun because, Sad can try to take on CEO Wednesdays, but it's still my day. It is still Timeless Elite Wednesdays. You can take my ass to court, but I keep receipts. But anyways, it's been fun with all of you. Friendly reminder, I will be doing a watch along of WrestleDream this Saturday. So who knows what action we're going to have here. You'll see me back on Friday where we do poll predictions for WrestleDream. So a lot has happened there. Obviously, we'll go over SmackDown with what's happening on Friday as we continue the aftermath of Crown Jewel. Obviously, you can always find me chirping sporadically on WWT as much as I can. Obviously, Wednesdays, it's Timeless Elite Wednesdays. You get to spend it with me. It's going to be a busy, busy week leading up to WrestleDream. Also, making sure to follow me at Courtney NJ11 on all my social channels. Please make sure to check out the latest interview I had with Georgia Smith, who is the daughter of the British Bulldog from 90s Wrestling Con last month. It was so nice to chat with her. It's officially up and very, very excited to see that. So make sure check out, and your Timeless Elite's got a lot of content happening. So definitely want to send a good night to everybody on the special edition of Timeless Elite Wednesday, and make sure you are following Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a great evening. Be safe. And I will see you on Friday.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.